Hey, how's it going?
It's going well, thank God.
Good,
I,
good.
I was in the kitchen. I didn't hear the phone ring.
Oh, no problem, no problem. Um, yeah, so no, I mean, look, I'm all for transparency. I'm always, open to have a conversation if leads to something I don't know. I guess only we can sort of make that happen.
You're getting low and high.
Oh, can you hear me? I just put my AirPods into the case, but
Oh,
all right. Can you hear me now?
yes.
Okay, yeah. I'm putting it on the charger. Hold on. All right. Hold on. Charging. Okay. Yeah. So I was saying I'm open to. I'm always open to have the conversation. Try to. I don't know. I guess you know, I'm trying to figure out the best, or like, what is the motivation behind, what is it? Because from what I understand, my mom and auntie have had a really tumultuous past, and it's unfortunate because I would have loved to, have family outside of the four of us. Like, it's nice to see people, who can, be a family and stick together and do things together. But, unfortunately, I don't think we were afforded that luxury. I know, I mean, what do you know? Like,
Hold on a minute. Hold on.
come here, boy. Down, down. All right, buddy. Easy, easy.
All right, Jason, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. No, that's pretty much it. I guess it's a surprise to say the least, right? To that you guys were there, because the last I remember was Auntie called me and was saying that I should go to the house. I should go to the house. Believe me, I wanted nothing than to make sure that Hyacinth was safe and things were okay. But as you know, I think the court.
We don't know. We don't know what happened between you and your mom and why you can't go to the house. We have no idea.
Yeah.
No one has ever told us, what's going on. And you're the one that invited Bishop Brown into this situation by these court papers that came to her last year.
Yeah.
We didn't know anything was going on.
Well, right. Well, first of all, that's a good point. I want you to know that it's really annoying to have to, forward over papers to interested parties, but it's required by the court in order to bring the proceeding like this. It's in all fairness, it makes sense because people should have the ability or the, if they choose to want to be a part of it or object. In that respect, I can understand why it's there. But at the same time, I didn't want to involve her to an extent where she'd feel like, they were annoying her by getting the letters or everyone had to get those, Secondly, I'm still, like I was saying in the letter, is like, as far as family is concerned, I unless, because I might be wrong, unless you know differently, that's what I'm trying to find out. I thought that they did not have the best relationship. In fact, it was the exact opposite. And I don't know. Maybe there's something I'm missing. I think it's nice that she's made an effort. That Auntie Elaine's made an effort, but
As far as I know, they had a very good relationship from the time they were born, going to England, coming to America, and it's just the last 10 years or so that she hasn't spoken, they haven't spoken. Bishop tried to, remember we came there when we were going to Israel. That was in 2007, I believe, or somewhere around there. Either 2006 or 2007.
I wish
We were going to Israel.
I wish you guys called me. I would have loved to meet up with you guys.
You weren't there? You didn't come to the house?
No, I don't. I haven't seen Auntie in years, since I was 16 years old.
Because when Trina was there, her husband was there, and that's the first we saw Nola.
Yeah.
When she was a little girl.
No, I had no idea. But
He said he wasn't there.
But the fact of the matter is, look, I was under the impression that they had this big fist fight and there was a dispute over the estate with Grandma. Now I don't know of who was right, who was wrong. Elaine could have been right.
Wait a minute, hold on. I have a thing with you calling her Elaine.
Oh, Auntie.
Okay, this is your aunt.
Yeah.
This is your aunt. She could be your grandmother. Okay, so I mean we gotta have respect, Jason. Okay.
Oh yeah, sure.
She's 91.
What would you like me to? What would you like me to? I'll call her whatever you want me to call her.
Auntie.
Auntie.
She's your
Okay.
aunt.
Okay. Yeah.
That can never erase. She is your aunt until the day she dies and you die. She's your aunt.
I wouldn't change it for the world. That's not the point. If I say Elaine is not out of disrespect, I will say Auntie. It's merely because it's we haven't had a relationship. It's nice that we can actually speak now, and I can refer to her as that. So thank you for clarifying. But the reality is, yeah, I thought there was this big fist fight that Auntie, my mom was saying how she got cut out of the will and she got pushed out of a car.
There was no will, first of all. Bishop Brown was the executor for Mother Brown's house in Jamaica. That's all
and
she
rightfully
has is
so.
a house in Jamaica.
And rightfully
she didn't have any money otherwise.
Right.
She had a house in Jamaica.
Yeah.
After Mother Brown died, there was a hurricane that came, and Bishop had to find money to fix the house.
Of course.
She had to find money to keep the house up, because if you don't keep it up, then it will go in disrepair. She paid the taxes all those many years.
Yeah.
And no one else helped her. And so she had to sell the house. It had to go through probate. She had to pay out money for probate to do the probate to the government.
Yeah.
And then when the house was sold, the money was shared out. Your mother said she didn't want anything. She said she didn't want anything from the proceeds of the house. He said, if we have anything, give it to, what's his name, Boris. So that was it.
Okay.
And so I don't know. And if we gave it to Boris. Well, not me, but Bishop Brown.
Right.
And that's it.
So
and Norma got her portion. And Paul. And she sent money to Stephen.
Okay.
So that was it.
Okay.
So I mean, we never could understand why the cutoff, because Bishop Brown called her on her what day? I don't know which birthday it was. It was an important birthday though, and we were on our way to Vancouver. And we called, and your mother never answered the phone, and we left a message, and she never returned the call. So I have no idea what happened.
Right.
But anyhow,
right.
there was. That's all that I know.
Okay. Well, it's good
but there was never
yeah.
any other confusion.
Well, good. That's good to know, because I'm hearing all different stories that just are not consistent with that. So it's good to hear this side. Maybe this side actually leads to somewhere truthful. All I know is I was told different things. And first of all, I would understand, because, listen, Grandma spent more time with Auntie Elaine than she did with anybody that, as far as I know.
Right, because we were in the same church.
Yeah.
And
she lived in Florida, right? You guys.
Yeah, and then Bishop had to bury her. She had to pay for a crypt. She's not in the ground. She's in a mausoleum. She had to pay for all that, and nobody else helped her.
Understood.
So
Yeah.
anyhow,
Understood.
all
Listen,
that's
yeah,
yeah. Go
I,
ahead.
I get that, and that's why there were times where I would talk to my own mother because even though she's my own mom, right? I've had to unfortunately treat her and other family members like they were a little bit on the fictitious side of storytelling. In fact, there were stories that even what's his name when he was alive, rest in peace, Rudy, was telling me. I think it was Rudy. It could have been Dave, but rest in peace, regardless. That I was like, my mom said that she did that, but that's your mom that did that. That's crazy. I thought my mom rescued Boris from going to jail, and then I heard all this.
That was Bishop Brown.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm hearing all these stories, and I was like, what? Like that sort of thing is why I always kept an open mind, and I never really took sides, because I always knew that although I love my mom dearly, Hyacinth she did the best she could, right? And I know she made mistakes, but she's not somebody who I think was thinking in reality. And the perfect example was the multiple sclerosis. I've been telling and advocating for years to please get her the proper diagnosis of fictitious disorder. She really, in her heart of hearts, had her wheelchair, her her crutches, and Vernell, ever since 1986, when she first quote caught multiple sclerosis, this is not how that happens, by the way. I was like, okay, she's my mom, but I gotta grow up fast because this is not how. This is something's not right here. So anyway, the whole point is this. I'm trying to decipher between what is real, what is not real, what was truth, what was not truth, and Rudy made a good argument for Bishop Brown. I'm sorry, Auntie. And
You call it Bishop Brown, that's fine, but just don't call her by her first name.
Okay, all right, I understand that.
All right, go ahead. Anyhow.
So that's it. And the only thing I'm saying is that when you guys showed up, it was bittersweet because to me I'm thinking, wow, I have actually not been able to see this family or speak to this side of the family since I was like the whole different ball game. I was like a kid, and it's not. But at the same time, I'm like, wait, wow. This is definitely this is weird because Hyacinth. See, I do it to my mom too. My mom was saying, they had like beef. I'm like, oh, y'all can't have beef, man. And I'm like, is it because of my mom's pretending to have multiple sclerosis? Because they should know. Or is it because like something bad happened? I just heard there was a fight, and I'm like, y'all can't be doing that. We're grown. We're family at the end of the day,
Yeah, but there was no fight that I know of. And how do you know your mother doesn't have multiple sclerosis?
Because ever since 1986, when she first decided that her foot stopped working and she got into an accident, she stated she had multiple sclerosis. But in reality, my mom has always talked about her sickness. Everyone who knows about it talks about her. I've always told her she is sick. Unfortunately, she is sick. She's right. But it's not what people think. She's bedridden and she's saying, I can't walk. No, there is a disease. I'm sorry, it's not even a disease. It's a mental illness, right? That people believe in their heart of hearts that they have, these ailments. And the dangerous, I'm going to tell you the dangerous part about it. There were times where I was on my way to Iceland with friends just to travel, and as soon as I touched down, I get a call from the hospital saying, your mother's here trying to get a surgery. I'm like, Lord Jesus, she don't need the surgery. And she, what would happen is she would get, it's like invasive stuff that is really dangerous. So just to give you an idea of her level of functioning, even in her 40s and 50s. So that's what I'm saying. I understand why if you got, if anyone on that side of the family may have had an issue with Hyacinth, I would understand. But at the same time, I'm like, listen, I've actually been the one really trying my hardest to safeguard her, because all the police do when they hear what's going on, they're like, oh, she's lying about having the will. She's just probably trying to scam the government. Nope, that's not it. That's malingering. That's a whole different mental illness that's categorized by the DSM-5, right? And that involves having a financial motive. Nola had to be taken out of the house because my mom was falling down and pretending to be dead. That's not okay, believe me. She used to do that with me. I'd be crying all night, like, Mama, wake up. And so, you know what I'm saying? So, like, any beef or anything that's taken place or transpired, I'm just trying to find out clarity as to, you know, what is really, like, why, if anything, you know, did they have such a tumultuous past? And maybe not. You're clearing that up, telling me they didn't. But then I have to go back to the other side, and like other people will be like, yo, I thought, well, they're not there anymore because my dad passed away and Trina's gone. But I mean, it would be nice to have the transparency and clarity, because I'm not an enemy. I'm here to, regardless of what happens with Hyacinth, I would love to have a relationship with you guys. I've been for years. I mean, I've listened. I asked Rudy at the time. I'm like, is it weird if I reach out? This is like maybe 2020, because, you know, like, still family, yo. It's weird. I don't know.
So, are you satisfied with how your mother is being cared for now? Somebody that she doesn't even know is there taking care of her?
No. And there's the reason
they say they're taking care of her anyhow.
They're not taking care of her at all, because they don't understand. They're refusing to acknowledge her mental illness. They're treating her like a criminal, and what they're doing is they're going to try to take her house and just sell it, even though the reality is, if I'm being completely honest, Vernell, Hyacinth, my mother, didn't really work for her for 40 years. So that house was not even, I mean, I would understand if it was her hard-earned money, right? But, you know, I watched my father used to work in the World Trade Center. Like, he put in his time, and, you know, he loved my mom. Like, that's the problem, is he loved her so much that he didn't want to see what was going on. The police don't want to. Yeah, France never wanted to see that. And I was hearing a lot of things. I'm like, people just didn't really know. Like, my dad wasn't perfect. I'm sure he had his times where I would have knocked him upside his head, but he definitely was just blinded by Hyacinth. All he lived for her. But he even got mad at me when I was like, listen, Pop, you got to get Hyacinth some help. She can't be watching an 11-year-old and pretending to be dead when the 11-year-old is crying. You know what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, I think the court has, like, they've been trying to railroad me, which is, I understand why. I completely get their position. Is they arrested me when I called for a wellness check. Right? I've never been to jail in my life. Like, I'm not that guy. I'll tell you right now, I'm not about that life. And you know, they messed up because they was like, yeah, she has multiple sclerosis. Why is this guy coming around here? He's bothering the sister. No, what happened was, in 2019, a little girl, right? She confided in me, and she was like, you know, Grandma's like, I came home and she was on the floor, and I was like scared. I didn't know whether to call the police. I was like, oh, this poor girl. Like, I understand that. I've been through that. So I made a big mistake because I didn't realize that there was a difference between adult protective services and child protective services. I asked child protective services. I said, please help my mom here, because my father just got diagnosed with cancer. My sister just got diagnosed with cancer. And my mother, she's always sort of been a hassle, but someone that I love, and somebody, no, I use the wrong word. She has been difficult to maintain, but not because of her, because I couldn't get the help from police to really treat it for what it is. And what they did is they came, they took the kid, they're like, okay, you can't stay here anymore. You know, you're an 11-year-old. But ever since that day, Trina had a very big vendetta against me and was like, you know, I can go to jail, you call CPS. I'm like, I gave you a good report. I would never, like, seriously, who am I to tell somebody how to raise their kid, or that you're try to take someone out of the home? That's not my style. I said, listen, I have the money. I'll put you and Nola up in a place while I get mom to help. She was like, Jason, you use drugs, you do it. She started lying, and that was it. She just convinced me and everybody. I said, you know what, in the end, the truth will come out, and I can only just move forward, you know, do my thing, do my career, just try to do the right thing. That's it. And nothing.
So that's why you can't go back to the house?
No, so after they arrested me, they dropped the charges, right? After they prosecuted me on, you know, I was like, look at the video, guys. I was like, I got the body camera video, but my mother's like, yo, he hasn't done anything. Why are you trying to trespass him? And they're like, just sign this. They're like, how old are you, ma'am? She couldn't even tell them how old she was. And they're trying to get her to sign this. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I can't go back because the judge in this case said, if you go back there, you will be arrested. I can't go back there because when I call the precinct and speak to the same officers who now know that there's no record of any multiple sclerosis in the house, and they're like, listen, Jason, we feel for you, man. We really do. Like, we saw, there's this one officer that's like, I've been here since day one. He's a good guy. Like, he's a good person, this one. And he's like, my hands are tied because if the judge tells me not to come, what are we going to do? That's the only reason I didn't go. When I talked to Auntie, I was like, Auntie Elaine, I want to go. Because she was telling me the truth. She was like, yo, there's traffic going on in there. I'm like, oh my God, like, trust me. A lot of traffic in the house. So I was like, yo, she's probably right. It's a nice house, and then people coming in and out. I'm like, that's not okay. But, you know, the minute believe me when I tell you, every day I've been at this court submitting paperwork, submitting documents saying, guys, this is really just retaliation for bringing the lawsuit against you, you know, for arresting me for nothing, for calling for help. I didn't even call the police, I called an ambulance. For calling for help, that's how you're gonna treat. These are supposed to protect and serve. There's some great officers out there, man. There's great law enforcement, and then there's guys like these at this precinct, and they're just like, all right, nigga, whatever, get them back. Like, that's not how we do things in 2024. But I don't know. I'm just letting you guys know my position, and I certainly understand, right, that it's annoying to get those papers and everything, but I can assure you, I tried to get out of it. I was talking to the guy. I was like, do they have to get it? Because even, I think Norma got some. Steven had to get it. That had to go all the way to Germany. I'm like, come on, man, this is crazy. But it had to be done. What's your position on it? Like, what do you think? I mean, because I'm open. Yeah, go ahead.
What exactly what exactly are you really trying to do, Jason? That's what I want to know.
By bringing the Article 81 proceeding, right? You have to understand, this came at a time where my father had passed away. My father was literally the only person who had a grip on reality until about 2018, when he was diagnosed with multiple myeloma. So he was paying all the bills. He was the one that he was the driver, right? He had to drive my sister everywhere. He had to drive my mother everywhere. I'm like, Dad, listen, there's going to come a time where you're not going to be here. And then, unfortunately, Hyacinth is going to be like, Mom is going to be like, so what do we do now? So what I'm trying to do, what I tried to do is when he passed away, I was like, okay, it's time to step up. Even before that, because I was, his healthcare probably was taking him to his appointments, making sure that he, took his dosage of medication. It was in the form of a pill, the chemo. Same thing with Trina. I was taking Trina to chemo, and then I'm having to deal with Hyacinth, who sometimes is just like, my leg, oh Lord Jesus, my leg hurt, I can't walk. And then 2 minutes later, she's up doing the moonwalk. Come on, man. So I'm like, Vernell, let me tell you. All right, that woman got energy.
Okay. So, what do you want done